Okay, Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Shalom, shalom, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who do rule well and that by the Spirit taught us His beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson. And as you can see right here in this photo, this picture, this was actually during that parade that they had, the 80th anniversary of the 1945 defeat of Nazi Germany. That was back in May. And this is one of Russia's intercontinental ballistic missiles. It's called HIMs. So, as you can see, it's kind of a little flotilla of them right here. And this is just a couple of these missiles, man. But matter of fact, we could probably get some information as to how far they may fly. Let's just see something real quick. Salakia. Probably should have pulled that up to begin with. But I'm pretty certain they can reach America. Says the RS-24 HIMs is a Russian solid fuel intercontinental ballistic missile that is multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle version of the Topo M missile, capable of carrying multiple warheads. It was developed in response to the U.S. missile shield in Europe, first tested in 2007 and deployed operational since 2010. The name HIMs is an acronym for Nuclear Deterrence Rocket. Okay. Okay, so where's the rest of the information? I wanted to see how far this shit go. Let me see. Maybe they got it in the Wikipedia. But hey, this right here lets you know too that that Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not wearing, who is he? And these Edomites, man, when the Lord said He blessed them with that sword, He really blessed them with that sword, man. Okay, so let's see here. The mass is 49,600 kilograms. Let me see. Okay, the length is 22. Okay, we can get it. It's not all important, but you can clearly see there's some big ass fucking missiles, man. So the maximum speed, god damn. Ooh, I ain't know that there. The maximum speed is 19,000 miles per hour. Golly. And the range, operational range, is 11,000 to 12,000 kilometers, and that's basically 6,800 to 7,500 miles. So of course that shit can reach the Americas. It's nothing. Look at this big motherfucker, bro. God damn. Man, Esau, boy. Hey, matter of fact, let me get that scripture real quick. He was gifted with that sword, boy. See, and they talk about Jake, you know what I'm saying? Black on black crime and all this other shit. Man, look, Jake ain't on no level with Esau, man, when it comes to no white on white crime or Edomite on Edomite crime. Because that's exactly what's going on. It's Edomite against Edomite. God damn, I ain't know that shit. That's 19,000 miles per hour? Golly. So that means that fucking missile can be here, man, in probably under 30 minutes easy. No, for shit. Golly, I'm gonna have to look that up. Anyway, let's just get this Esau with that sword. I think it's Genesis 27. Is that like around 39, 40? Yeah, verse 40 is the point. Let's just get to the point. Genesis 27 and 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And that sword is going off into these modern day weapons. Because Esau, you know, going back to the days of Cain, if you have ears to hear, you know that, you know, he was the very first murderer. And he's been developing weapons ever since that time period, basically. Ongoing and ongoing. You know, he went from a sword to, you know, at some point, you know what I'm saying, cannons. I mean, this man been perfecting a weapon for a very long time. Thousands of years he's been perfecting a weapon. And so now he's at a point where, and these are Russian Edomites. So imagine the American Edomites. These American Edomites got some shit too, but I think Russia might be top dog right now in that area, if I'm not mistaken. I really think they are. They got some shit, man. Okay, so each missile is thought to be able to carry up to 4 warheads, although there is uncertainty about the maximum capacity, so they really don't know. I wanted to see how fast that motherfucker will reach America. Let's see though, they got a little small video here. This nigga got this shit perfected, bro. All them camera angles. This shit is perfected, bro. This is Esau. This man is gifted with that sword, bro. Matter of fact, though, let me get this real fast. Golly, bro, I had no idea. I mean, you know, we see, or, you know, we hear about these things, man, but whew, just imagine all the missiles that's going to be coming here to the Americas, bro. I pray, man. You know, about H.I.M will have mercy on my brother and you brothers and sisters, man. That's, you know, because it's going to be that shit, boy. That motherfucker. Because ain't going to be nowhere you can run. I'm going to look it up and I'm going to try and see how fast would a missile like that get to America, man. Should have asked ChatGPT. But this is Isaiah 9 and 5. Put a little highlight on that. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. See, this going back to old school Esau with the swords, you know, with the shields, you know, that, you know, the damn helmets, you know, that old school, you know, Esau, he been rocking out for a long time with the weapon, right? But let me start that back from the top. It says, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise, you know, all that screaming, hollering, and they, you know, they charge, you know, they running at each other, you know, all that shit, that hand-on-hand combat type of deal. It says, in garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And that fuel of fire that's going off into, let's go to Revelation real quick. 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. See, these Edomites, those Edomites in Russia, they not going out like how they went out, you know what I'm saying, before. You know, they done built you know, their forces back up while America been bullshitting around. And actually, you know, the scripture talks about how the Lord is going to use Russia to actually destroy America. And of course, Amalek, you know, those small hats over there, them 1948ers, they're the ones that's really going to draw America into the bullshit, man. Because I think, you know, Iran, you know, I think Israel is going to try and strike Iran again, and it's going to, and Iran is a ally to Russia. So we'll see how it play out, you know. But because the Lord is going to push those buttons, man. Let's get this Proverbs 21 and 1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Right? So let's go into some of the article. I want to get some of the article, but let me check this out too, though, because I really want to see how fast that shit can reach America. And this is just one missile. And they got other shit now, you know, that's far more advanced. So America is fucking done, man. Whew. Mach 25, around 19,000 miles per hour, bro. Yep, it says it can reach the United States in approximately 30 minutes. And what are people going to do within 30 minutes? Think about that, man. Think about how far fucking away that is. That lets you know that this man has clearly perfected the sword, man. You can't say that this is not... This is a perfect indicator that these are Edomites. Esau was gifted with that sword, bro. Well, this motherfucker can shoot a missile within 30 minutes, and everybody in this bitch is going to be torched, man. You not going... Where you going? And guess what? America don't have no bomb shelters for you. These other countries, they got bomb shelters there, you know, their people can go to. But matter of fact, check out what this guy said, though. Check out what this guy said, because he talked to, he was like, we got some shit, it ain't gonna make no difference if your ass got bomb bunkers, nigga. Let me get back what Zelensky first said, right? Zelensky in an interview said U.S. President Donald Trump had given him the explicit, no, let me get this part again. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said officials in Moscow should learn where their nearest bomb shelter is if they don't end Russia's war, right? So check out what this guy told this nigga, man. I'm going to read on. Zelensky in an interview, we already read that part, said that President Trump had given him an explicit backing to Ukrainian strikes on Russian targets such as energy, infrastructure, and arms factories, and that if Kyiv receives more long-range American weaponry, then we will use it, right? So America is playing a huge part in these Edomites here in America. They all over the place. The Kyiv, check out, he called this nigga the Kyiv drug addict. The Kyiv drug addict said the Kremlin should know where a bomb shelter is so its occupants can hide when he uses long-range American weapons. Medvedev, who is deputy chairman to Russian President Vladimir Putin on the Kremlin's Security Council and is himself a former president and prime minister of Russia, in a post on X, it says, what the freak needs to know, and they be talking shit about this guy, because they know that if you go back to the history of this guy, Zelensky, man, this guy was a real clown before he became president. That's how you know they had to be setting these people up, man. He was one of those, I mean, the guy was dressed in drag, you know, just nasty looking, you know what I'm saying? And of course, he do be looking like his ass is on dope. He's sniffing something, who knows? Right? Okay, but it says, what the freak needs to know is that Russia can use weapons a bomb shelter won't protect against. Americans should also keep this in mind. So you can go off into your bunkers all you want to, and this shit is gonna penetrate them bitches. NATO-Russian conflict. Tensions between Russia and U.S.-led NATO both sides, armed with devastating arsenals of nuclear weapons, have escalated sharply in the recent weeks of Moscow's invasion of Ukraine thunders on, despite Trump's efforts to broker a peace deal. Well, how you trying to broker a peace deal and you giving these niggas weapons, man? The potential for a direct NATO-Russia clash is increasing. NATO allies have accused Russia of a series of serious violations of their airspace. Yeah, that's been going on throughout the week, last week too. Allegations Moscow says lacks evidence. In one such incident, Poland said it had to shoot down a dozen Russian drones that violated its airspace and threatened its security during an attack on neighboring western Ukraine. And that right there in itself, you know, would you know, have all NATO nations involved. They should be on Russia's ass right now, but guess what? Hey, I don't think they not trying to pull the trigger, man, because they don't want no smoke with Russia, man. Because I think that's Article 25 or some article they have where if you attack one a NATO nation, you attacking all of them, and I think it's like 30 nations, and they don't want no smoke with Russia, man. Because you see them fucking missiles, right? And that guy, he was bragging one time too, not that long ago. He told Trump, hey, you pick a target that you're trying to protect, and let us know, and we'll demolish that shit, and you can't stop us. Pretty much overall. Okay, but it says Trump speaking at a press conference alongside Zelensky during a United Nations General Assembly meeting in New York said he thought NATO countries should shoot down Russian aircrafts entering their airspace. He also posted to his Truth Social platform that with NATO support, Ukraine could win back all of the territory seized by Russia over the course of its full-scale invasion launched in February 2022. Well, they not giving up them lands, man. Those lands are annexed, man. You know what I'm saying? They not giving up none of that shit. So what you gonna do? And I don't see you running over there in Russia like you running into everybody else shit. See, America has been running into these small scale countries and been acting as if they big dog. But when it comes to countries like Russia and China, certain countries that can defend themselves, America not pulling that shit, man. Okay, it says, why not, Trump wrote. Russia has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years, a war that should have taken a real military power less than a week to win. Well, you ain't won no military wars, man. America hasn't won no wars. You was over there in Afghanistan for 20 years. And left a whole bunch of weapons over there for the fucking Al-Qaeda. Whoever the fuck is over there, you left a whole bunch of shit when Biden pulled the troops out of there. You was over there 20 years. You spent trillions of dollars. You couldn't even handle them people. What the fuck are you talking about? Right? So it says, and then that president over there in Russia, man, he's a pretty smart guy, I think. You know what I'm saying? Me speaking as a man, he's got a lot of patience. But why would you want to tear up some shit that you taking? All you got to do, he's doing it the best way, you ask me. Slowly back their asses down. You don't have to destroy all the infrastructure. You don't have to destroy all the buildings. You can just push through slowly. And you take that shit over, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to build up as much. And then what's the rush? What's the fucking rush? Okay, but he says, and this is something that these Americans be repeating too. See, you Americans, you just go at everything with the hammer. You don't have no type of patience. You know what I'm saying? You just throw everything at it at one time. You don't have no thinking when it comes to patience, man. So because I've been seeing those comments over the past couple of years since it's been going on. Same thing that Trump is saying, that basically they're fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years, a war that should have been taking a real military power less than a week to win. This is not distinguishing Russia. In fact, it's very much making them look like a paper tiger. No, it's not. Hey, what's the rush? You not rushing your ass in there. I bet you. Why aren't you going into Russia? Why aren't you going into Ukraine and helping those Ukrainians out? I mean, you supplying them weapons. You already in the shit. You might as well. Why don't you just go ahead and just pull up? They're not gonna do that. Trump continued. When the people living in Moscow and all the great city, towns, and districts all throughout Russia find out what is really going on with this war, the fact that it's almost impossible for them to get gasoline through the long lines that are being formed, and all of the other things that are taking place in their war economy, where most of their money is being spent on fighting Ukraine, which has great spirit and only getting better. Ukraine would be able to take back their country in its original form, and who knows, maybe even go further than that. This dude is delusional. This dude is out his damn mind. And nobody got no respect for Trump, because they was all snickering and laughing at his ass during that UN meeting, man. Let's get some of these comments. Let's see. Days without a Russian nuclear threat, 0. Yeah. Said that's all it is, an empty threat. Quit being so easily scared by these so-called dictators. Well, all right, my mom is more of a threat. Yeah, all right. You see, these proud ass Americans, they don't get it. Said Russia is about to get jumped and no one's coming to save them. And no, but Belarus does not count. Finland would kick their ass. See, these people are delusional. They have no idea, man, what's really going on, man. Here you go. This man got a missile. You can't stop. fooled you into thinking that they can just beat everybody in the planet. Here you go. You don't have no allies but Israel, if you even want to call them an ally. They sucking your ass dry. They're not gonna. They're gonna draw you into some bullshit that's gonna get your ass blown to smithereens. Don't nobody else like you. This guy just went to the UN assembly and shitted on all his allies. These countries don't, and matter of fact, these countries, prophetically, these countries, they gonna get together with Russia and shoot some shit this way too. So this is what it's all coming down to, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, just another report on the wars, rumors of wars. We already know that they working real hard on that market of Beauty and the Beast, baby. That shit is moving quickly. So, a couple of major prophecies left, man. And we the fuck up out of here. I'm praying, you know, that we're a part of the hopeful elect, man. So, you know, keep your head on the swivel, be circumspect, continue on praying, reading, doing these lessons. If you're capable of doing lessons, man, you know, we need all hands on deck. Scripture says to, pray to Yahweh by H.I.M for more laborers. It says the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So we need more laborers. Keep on praying for that. Because the more workers you got, of course, the quicker you can get a job done. I pray for that every day, you know, multiple times a day, that we can get us some more really good laborers to, your brothers got to get up, man. You know, you can't just be sitting around listening to videos, you know, all the time. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to work, man, if you know these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just a couple of scriptures right off. If it's something that somebody may ask you, you know, just scriptures talked about putting your hand over your mouth and just explaining to them, well, all right, well, you know, I don't know that right off, because you don't want to add to or take away from the scriptures. But you can direct them to, you know, the apostles. You can direct them to some of the elders, you know, to answer the questions that they may have. But overall, you know, generally, and I've heard brothers say this before, you know what I'm saying? You know, me just speaking as a man, they were speaking as as men themselves, but, you know, the Lord is generally not going to send somebody your way that you can't handle, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, if they're asking you questions, they're going to ask questions along the lines of something that you've learned already and that the Lord has given you within, you know, in the spirit to explain, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's not going to overwhelm you with, you know, but anyway, either way, you know what I'm saying? If that does come about, you can just say, hey, well, I don't know that right off, but, you know, I can definitely get the information. But overall, you know, the basics of the gospel is just stick to the script, man, that, you know, the true name of the Father is Yahweh. True name of his son is Yahweh Shai. And he's only coming for the children of Israel. And those are, you know, the milk scriptures that, you know, generally brothers start off with anyway, you know, type of deal, you know. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Just pray for more laborers for the harvest, man. Because it's very important that we have those laborers so we can get this work done a lot quicker. And send up those prayers, man, for the fall of Babylon the Great and the fall of Esau, Edom's kingdom, man, because that's where we're at, man. Because Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth according to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. And hey, man, we almost out of here. So with that, shalom.